What up, ladies and gentlemen? This your boy SK the King coming back with another reaction video. And today we're actually checking out Mr. Hammer's new video of Def Jam Fight for New York is absolutely insane, a retrospective. So let's check it out, man.
I've never been the biggest fan of fighting games. Me and my friends would have a good time with the Mortal Kombats and the Soul Caliburs and the Smash Bros, but really outside of that local multiplayer setting, I never really explored fighting games that much for myself. That is, unless they have something unique going for them, and unique is the second best adjective that you can use to describe Def Jam Fight for New York.
One of my favorite games of all time.
Absolutely insane.
Yes, sir.
Def Jam Fight for New York is a sequel to Def Jam Vendetta, one of the over-the-top sports games under the EA big label.
Facts.
That game did numbers, and it was only obvious for EA to follow it
One
up
of my
with an even
favorites,
bigger
man.
and more ambitious game. AKI Corp developed both titles, the studio behind many wrestling games prior to these, and
No
simply
Mercy,
put, they knew what they were
WrestleMania.
doing. Vendetta was more of a wrestling and brawling game, where Fight for New York has several different fighting styles to choose from, like street fighting, kickboxing, wrestling, martial arts, or submissions like
I used to always pick Street
Fight for
Fighter.
New York is a game absolutely stuffed full of actors, rappers, and personalities, all within the ecosystem of hip-hop in the early 2000s. This game has 67 playable characters. 67.
That's
Compare that to
crazy.
the 26 that you got in Mortal Kombat Deception, or the 25 in Smash Bros. Melee.
That roster was
67
doubled,
is
my
just
guy.
bonkers. 44 of the fighters are real people. You can play as top rappers of the time like Ludacris, Busta Rhymes, and Fat Joe, to hip-hop legends like Ghostface Killah, Snoop Dogg, and Warren G, and even
Facts.
actors and random celebrities like Danny Trejo, Kimora Lee Simmons, Carmen Electra, and Jacob Arabo, the jewelry and watch designer behind Jacob & Co.
Doing business with you.
The other 23 fighters in the game were created by the developers because I guess 44 personalities just weren't enough. The idea of having this playground of rappers and superstars to duke it out with made me and my friends just hype off the possibilities. Who would win? Bubba Sparks or Bone Crusher? Freeway or Sean Paul? Method Man or Redman?
I'm gonna take your tongue out and lick my ass with it.
The scenarios were seemingly endless. Combine that with the actual environments you can take
those
these
specials
scraps
was
to,
crazy,
and you have a
bro.
game that just never gets old. You can fight in a dank basement with crowds full of eager fans all around you waiting to see a battle to the death. They'll even grab your opponent holding them open for some shots. They'll hand you a weapon or just smash a weapon over someone's head themselves. The crowd is just savage. The levels themselves also provide hazards or opportunities depending on which side of the fight you're on. Smash a head through a speaker, use a car door, or even toss someone in front of a subway
Oh yeah,
car.
it got real.
The environments are a big part of what makes this game insane. I really thought it was cool how much effort went into making this game as well. Each of these 44 real people contributed to their video game personas. They recorded their own voice lines and spent time committing to and creating this real world of Fight
Big
for New
facts.
York. And listening to a lot of the behind the scenes recording sessions, they all seemed to have a really good time with it as well. But really, the game just felt good to play. It made you hype beyond belief when you started a 1v1 with your friend. No matter who you choose, they'd have some badass trash talk at the beginning that just gets you going. Combine that with the already over-the-top personalities and fighting styles and kick-ass soundtrack full of songs by most of the cast
Soundtrack
of the
was
game that are
amazing.
made to get you hype. The game isn't a reserved fighting game by any standard either.
At all.
The hits all feel hard, especially in combination with the excessive controller vibration that they provide. The slams are cringe-inducing, and again, the environmental destruction is just brutal. There is a meter in the fights called momentum, and it's boosted by landing hits, countering or blocking hits, and taunting your opponent. The rate at which it goes up is also affected by the character's charisma stat, which varies from character to character. Things like clothing, jewelry, tattoo choices, they all serve to boost charisma, which in turn help you get your momentum up faster in fights. The more expensive and flashy the jewelry, the better. Once you max out momentum, the real fun happens. Then you enter
Them
blazing
blazing
mode.
moves.
The fighter catches fire and is able to perform a signature move, which are heavy hitting and really flashy. One of my favorites is definitely Kimura Lee Simmons. It goes from a flurry of bitch slaps to breaking a neck. It's just savage.
Ooh. Wait, gotta add 1 second, everybody. Oh, they be trying to kill me with these ads though, no cap. Alright. What is that skip button though? We need that skip right now. Bruh. Oh my god, it's a double ad, bro. Oh my god, please have a skip on this one, please. Alright, good. Cause I'm about to say, bro. Alright, we back.
I like to get rough.
That being said, the point of each level is to beat some ass, and there are only 2 ways to win a fight.
Wait, let me pause
Knocking
for a
bitch
second real
out
quick.
or
Let me make sure that quality is getting a little blurry. Alright. Wait. Wait. About to say, damn, I'm trying to get that. Okay, there we go. Alright, we good now.
making them tap with a submission. There are 2 health bars essentially layered
Yeah,
on
I was
top
about to say,
of
it's
each
looking
other.
rough
You got
right
your
now.
main health meter and then what the game calls a consciousness meter. The consciousness meter sits on top of the health meter and gets depleted with every hit at a much larger rate than the health. However, it also replenishes itself to the current level of HP if you go a few seconds without getting hit. Taking a rapid amount of hits will lower the consciousness, leaving you open to being knocked out, regardless
Ooh.
of what the health is at. A pretty cool concept in my opinion. Once your opponent is in danger, knockouts have to be done with either a haymaker, a blazing move, a weapon, or an environmental hazard. A win by submission is done by depleting the health bar of a specific limb, so leg locks or arm bars done repeatedly will weaken the limb enough to cause a submission victory. A lot harder to pull off than a KO, but for fighters with that style, it is a lot of fun to do and it's hard to defend against. You learn submissions are badass real quick once you face Ice-T for the first time.
You're nothing but a punk, your daddy's a punk, and your mama's a bitch.
The crazy thing about this game though is that it's not just some outlandish crossover fighting game. It's got a really well fleshed out story.
Really good
with
story.
a plot and narrative to it and everything. You go through a character creation all in the setup of it being a police sketch artist drawing another cop's description of a guy who hit his car and let the suspect he had in custody escape. That suspect is D-Mob from the prior game, Vendetta. You pick the appearance and voice and a pretty basic creation menu and you join D-Mob and his crew in taking over New York. You fight and earn respect through the local fighting circuits. You learn fighting skills from Henry Rollins. You buy clothes and jewelry from Jacob the Jeweler, and even get a girlfriend along the way from the likes of Lil Kim, Carmen Electra, and Kimura Lee Simmons, all while going against a rival gang and its leader, Crow, a pimped out Snoop Dogg. Along the way through the game, you even get forced to switch sides at one point and join Crow's crew, betraying D-Mob and the boys. It's honestly a dope ass story. It's more interesting than most other fighting games like Smash Bros, which has very little in the way of character progression and narrative.
That story was
Also, in
amazing.
Smash Bros, you don't get shot at by Danny Trejo.
Dang.
The game definitely is dated in modern times. Back in the early 2000s, hip-hop was loud and over the top already, and this
You ain't
game
lying.
dials up the excessiveness of that culture to 11, including treating women like objects, i.e. picking your girlfriend between 2 fine ladies of the early 2000s, and answering messages on your T-Mobile sidekick. But in a way, it sort of encapsulates this unique and interesting culture and time in our lives, especially if you were a big fan of hip-hop like I was.
Facts.
After this game came came out on consoles, it also got a PSP version called The Takeover, and eventually a sequel on next-gen consoles called Def Jam Icon. The most disappointing
not gonna speak
sequel
about
ever
Icon.
made. It
That
was
was
a
bad.
visually impressive game with some current
It was
rappers
bad.
and characters to brawl with like T.I., Paul Wall, Lil Jon, and Anthony Anderson. It was a decent game, but it lacked all the charm and innovative nature of both Vendetta and Fight for New York, and was the last fighting installment that we've seen from Def
That's
Jam.
what killed
there
the
was
series,
an
bro.
Icon 2 being made at one point, but it has since been scrapped and no one even knows what happened to it. Even though Def Jam did tweet out some promising things pretty recently, hinting that they may be making a new game, although nothing's been heard of that ever since either. Def Jam did release one more video game that wasn't a fighting game called Def Jam Rap Star, which was like Guitar Hero for rappers. I never played it personally, but I bet it was fun for suburban white kids rapping Kanye West on the daily.
Does anyone make real shit anymore?
Due to the copyrights and licensing nightmares of the industry of both video games and music, I heavily doubt that we'll ever see any kind of remaster or remake of any of the Def Jam games. But that doesn't mean people still don't love and play this game still now. There is even a community and game tournaments with this game, similar to Smash Bros. And Street Fighter. It may not be as big, but it is alive and well.
No shirt and no shoes, but all the service. God damn, stop! That's it. And he took his shirt off. He is David Banner in real life.
Could you imagine a modern day spiritual successor to this game though? Under Def Jam, you have people like 2 Chainz, Pusha T, Logic, Justin Bieber, and plenty others. But fuck it, why not include any and all labels or artists? Make it a giant hip hop fighting game. Maybe like XXL does a freshman list every year, they can source a new fighting game. The people
that would be dope.
I wanted to make this quick video about this game because of the dozens of recommendations, but also because it's a game that I truly spent hundreds of hours on easily back in the day. I didn't sink many hours into it this go around for this video, so this is more of a nostalgic video rather than a full-blown retrospective like I usually do. I hope that you enjoy this trip down memory lane as much as I did, and if this shorter form content is something that you'd like, I'll continue to mix in videos like these in the future.
Yeah, this is dope.
I'd like to take some time to give a shout out to all my patrons for holding it down.
Alright, well, we'll stop it right here. But yeah, man, this game is freaking amazing. Like, I grew up playing this a lot, especially during high school, man. Definitely memories, man. So, man, if y'all still like Def Jam Fight for New York, man, let me know what y'all think about this, bro. And like I said, if y'all like this content, make sure you like, hit that subscribe, and I will see you on the next one. And I'm out. Peace. That's dope.